Hi everyone, this is Kiran from InPixon. I'm a technical associate handling SigmaPlot software. Today I'm going to give a small demonstration on SigmaPlot software, how SigmaPlot software is useful in data visualization and data analysis, and which and all the additional features we can see for analysis and graphing, and what is new in this latest version, SigmaPlot 15. So these are the things I'm gonna discuss in this session. Before that, I would like to give a small introduction to the software. SigmaPlot is a statistical data analysis and graphing software. Here we mainly concentrated on the data visualization things that are different type of more than 100 2D 3D plots, adding multiple plots in the single graph frame or window, and good quality graphs. Nowadays, we know researchers looking for the good quality graph to write up the paper and for the publication. For that reason, SigmaPlot built with those additional features and unique features for the data visualization. And not only for this data visualization, we can perform analysis also, like basic statistical tests, mean, median, mode, frequency calculation. We can perform the comparison test like one sample t-test, two sample t-test, ANOVA. We can perform categorical data analysis features are like chi-square test, Fisher exact test, McNamara test, odds ratio, relative risk, and damage detection method, PCA. We can perform all these analysis features with the help of advisory wizard option. Then how user-friendly it is for data visualization and analysis. When we open the software, this is the overview of the software. Here you can see the interface opening with a dialog box, quick start. And under quick start, you can see two options. One is create graph and open notebook. Under create graph, you can see all the 2D, 3D graphical features. And if you select any plot option, suppose I'm selecting scatter plot, you can see the subgraphs of the scatter plot below the window. Likewise, if you select the line plot, you can see the subgraphs of the line plot. Here, the quick start, it is to quick start with the graphing. Suppose I'm selecting a simple spline curve from the line plot. Now you can see the preview of the simple spline curve and worksheet preview of the simple spline curve in the right side. And you can change the format of the plotting also. If you want to plot a single X, you can select single X. If you want to plot a single Y, you can select a single Y. But I'm still continuing with the XY pair. I just click OK. Now the interface is divided into two windows. One is the worksheet and another one is the graph page of the worksheet. Here I'm going to enter the data manually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and corresponding Y as 34, 45, 45, 56, 45, just a hypothetical data entry. Now you can see one graph automatically generated in the right window. So this is nothing but quick graphing of the data, one of the graph executing feature in the SigmaPlot software. So what about create notebook option? Under main button, again, I'm going into the quick start dialog box. The second option is open notebook. This is regarding opening different type of notebooks. You can open the blank notebook of SigmaPlot. You can open the Excel interface notebook, a database notebook, and you can create a notebook from the data on the clipboard, and you can open the existing file. So I'm going to show you the features of the SigmaPlot notebook now. So that option is already selected. I just click OK. Now we can see the blank notebook of the SigmaPlot. I'm just hiding this graph page. That whatever data you are importing, whatever report or graph you are generating in the session, that is going to be listing in this notebook manager window. We have notebook 1 and notebook 2 here. Under notebook 2, you can see the new blank notebook of the SigmaPlot. Under notebook 1, you can see data and the graph page which we previously generated. And in this notebook, You can enter the data manually and you can copy paste from the external source also. And this interface is almost similar to Excel file, but the difference is in Excel, you can't change the column header like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H like that. But here you can directly name the column. You can give the space in between the alphabets. You can write the special characters, numerics also to the column header. So there is no alternate variable properties like other software. And which and all the formats supporting SigmaPlot software. Again, go to the main button. Here you can see open option. When you click on that, there's a dialog box to see which and all the formats supporting SNB, JNB files, Excel, plain text, comma delimited, template notebook file, library, SigmaPlot, curve fitting files, Macintosh 4 and 5, SigmaStat file, device files, table code 23D files, Lotus, Quattro Pro, SigmaScan, image worksheets, SAS data files. You can easily open in the SigmaPlot software. Then what about the data protection? Is it possible to protect the entire data with password? Yes, that is also possible. How many notebooks you can, any notebooks, whatever notebooks you are creating, you can save entire all the notebooks with a password protection. Under main button, there you can see the protection option to set the password. And not only this password protection, you can save the result graph data with report also. There is an additional option is added into this latest version. So that is under options, report. You can see here, save result graph data with statistical reports. Then what about the worksheet features? Under worksheet menu, you can see the import file option again, import file and import database option, and the worksheet editing features. I'm gonna show you the importing features by importing one file. Now I'm going to import one file, Excel file. You can see here two sheets are there. If you want any particular sheet, you can set particular sheet, or you can import all the sheets into the worksheet. Here, I have a data, and you can see the last option under worksheet menu is a view column statistics. This is to see the column statistic quickly. If you want to see the existing sheets statistic, just click on the view column statistics under worksheet menu. That is going to be generate a basic statistic of the existing columns in the separate worksheet. So this is the estimate we got for 5 sample measurements of in the data 2. And what about the graphical features? As I told before, we can generate, and the thing is, we mainly concentrated on the data visualization things, different type of features coming under data visualization in SigmaPlot software. So let's see the one by one features, basic editing, advanced editing, exporting features, and let's see what are all the features we can see for graphic under SigmaPlot 15 version. So I have a data now. I'm going to generate the plots. Again, under create graph menu, you can see 2D, 3D graphical features here. And all these graphical features are in the list under graph wizard. If you select a line and scatter plot, by clicking next, you can see the subgraphs of the line and scatter plot. And in the bottom, you can see the statistic graph wizard where you can see a point and column in plots. And there are some enhancement in the graph you can see here. QQ plot, normal probability plot. And if you select any plot option, you can see the preview in the left side. And you can generate the quantile prediction ellipse also for the data. Now I'm gonna, and another thing is you can see here, add to gallery option. This is to add the generated plot into the graph gallery for future plotting. You can use that added plot as a template for the future graphing. So I'm going to show you the basic editing features first, and what are the features or likes in for plotting. So uh, for this data, I'm going to generate under scatter plot, multiple scatter. Then these are all the formats we can generate. I'm going to generate X many Y plot next, and I'm selecting the data. You can select directly like this, or you can select from here also, or you can select particular observations also for the plotting. I just click OK. So this is the plot is generated now. I just zoom it. Now I want to perform the basic editing for this plot. How to perform the basic editing? You can keep the legend inside the plot also like this. I just keep outside. I want to perform the basic editing. Just double click on the plot. You can see one dialog box to rename the graph title under graph option. You can rename that. I just want to name it as multiple scatter. So you can change the format also, and font size also you can change. Normal, bold, italic, underline, superscript, subscript, and scientific symbols also you can add into the title. And you can color the graph title also like this. And for legends also, a particular pair, particular legend you can rename. And if you want to see only the Y variables, you can use Y only for legend also. And if you want to add the background grid to the plot, you can add the background grid to the plot also. These are the formats are there. I'm just adding the X major solid grid as a background. And under graph plane option, you can add the background color to the plot. I just add the green color. I'm applying the transparency to that like this. And under axis, you can change, you can rename the X and Y axis. And under line option, you can color the X and Y axis lines. And under scaling, you can change the range of the scale. I'm doing it for the Y axis. Now it's currently 30 to 48. I'm going to change it as 30 to 40. So like this, you can change. And under major labels, you can display the left Y-axis name in the right side and bottom axis name in the top. And under minor labels, you can display the access points of the left Y in the right Y. And under major tick label and minor tick labels, you can display the scientific notations on the plot. And under major ticks, you can manually change the range. I'm going to change it for Y-axis again. Manually, I'm changing the range from 0 to 2. Now you can, sorry, not 2. I just do it as 1. Now you can see 0, 30, 31, 32 like access point range. And I'm going to do the minor ticks for the x-axis of the plot. I'm changing the interval from 5 to 10. I want only in the bottom axis, not for the top. And this break option is to adjust your plot. If you add a multiple plot in the a single frame, if you want to adjust as per the axis points, you can adjust. I'm going to do it for the y-axis of the plot. I want a break in between 30 to 36. So 34 to 36, I am applying the break. So now you can see the break in both left Y and right Y. And under plot option, you can see the plot names in this window. Again, the data, you can change the data range here. And under symbols, you can customize the symbols here. Black and white circles you can see. I'm going to apply the one color scheme for that and apply it like this. So I'm applying this one. So like this, you can customize the graph. And under line option, you can edit the lines. And area, under area fills, you can change the, you can color the area. And under reference lines, you can display the mean, upper control line, lower control line on the plot. And drop lines is to display the horizontal and vertical lines, drop lines. So this is about basic gating of the plot. Then now I don't want this break now. I'm going to apply it after adding multiple plots. So I'm hiding the break now. So I want to add a multiple plots in this single graph frame, multiple equations in the single graph frame. How to do that? Just right click on the plot. Here again, you can see object property, graph property option for basic gating. You can modify the plot also. If you want to add one more variable, you can add one more variable over here. So like this, you can see. And now I want to add another plot to this graph frame. Right click on the plot, add new plot. This time I'm going to add under line and scatter plot. I'm adding a simple spline. So only the single Y, I'm selecting the Y particular observations from the third column. So now you can see, and this is depends upon the axis of the first plot, and this is not a complete plot. I want a complete independent second plot with separate axis. Firstly, we need to add the axis for that. So for that, under graph page menu, you can see the basic editing options. Under this menu try one, you can see here manage plot option. You can add the axis into the second plot, y-axis, right side y. Now this is the complete simple spline curve under line and scatter. And whatever break you are applying into the one axis is not affecting the other axis also. Now I'm going to display the break now. Double click on the plot. I'm going to apply the break into the first plot now. Break that is already specified 34 to 36. Now you can see the break in the left Y is not affected the right side Y. Then is it possible to add equations? Is it possible to perform that curve fitting? Yes, that is also possible. Keep a cursor on the plot, right click on that. Here you can see 3 regression wizards for the different type of curve fitting. I'm going to explain you this briefly in the analysis part. Now I'm going to add the equation into this graph frame. So under curve fit, you can perform over 24 probability functions. Under sigmoidal equation category, I'm going to add one equation now. You can generate the report also, but I don't want a report. I just want to add the equation into the graph. I just click finish. Now you can see here that equation also you can see with the previous graph title. So this is how we can perform. We can perform basic to advanced editing to the graph, and we can add multiple plots equation to the same graph frame or in the same window. Then what about the other advanced editing features? We can paste the plot also, and you can import the external images also into the graph page. That is BMP, JPG, GF, PNG, TIFF format, ICO, PCX, PCD, EMF, WMF, PSD, PNG, TGA, IC. These are all the image formats we can easily import into the graph page. And we can write inside the plot also under this tool option. There is a T. We can write P value. I'm just writing something P value as 0.065. And you can add the external lines. And if you want to tell something about any plot, you can show the line, that arrow like this. And I want to make this graph as a single image now. Is it possible? Yes, that is also possible. Now this graph is not a single image. If you move this graph, that external tools which I added is not moving with the plot. So I want to make this as a single image now. For that, Control All. Here you can see group. Now this graph is the single image, but you can't perform the basic editing now. When you double click on the plot, you can't see the graph properties dialog box, but still I want to perform the basic editing for this image. So for that, under home menu, there is an option graph properties where you can perform basic editing. So we can access SigmaPlot features from the Word, PowerPoint, and Excel also. How to assess that? Suppose I have a SigmaPlot graph in the Word file. I'm just explain you with an example how to access the SigmaPlot feature from the Word file. I'm inserting into the Word. So now you can see, consider that you have a SigmaPlot graph in the Word file, but you don't know which data you use for this and which notebook you use for this graph. On that case, you can regain the data and the notebook which you use for this plot. Just right click on the graph in the Word file. There's an object option. You can see here open. When you click on that, you can see the entire notebook which you used for that plot. And here the tab data for. So this is about the graphical feature. Then what about the exporting features? Just right click on the graph, or here under home menu, there is a export option. You can export the graph in these many formats. You can save the graph in these many formats with high quality. So how to set the high quality? I'm just showing you. Suppose I'm saving the plot in PNG format. I'm giving one name to that. I just click save. You can see one dialog box to adjust the height and width of the plot and to set the DPI quality. You can set the DPI from 70 to 2200. I'm going to set the DPI as 300. I just click OK. And then now my plot is going to be saving with that 300 DPI quality in the specified location. So this is the graphical feature in the SigmaPlot software. Then what about the analysis? So how unique SigmaPlot, how unique for analysis, data analysis. So I'm gonna explain you with the help of the same data which I use for the graphing. So under analysis menu, as I told before, SigmaPlot built with one unique feature, that is advisor wizard option. You can perform any data analysis with the help of advisory wizard. This advisor wizard is works like a guidance option. It guides in each and every step of statistical analysis and suggesting the appropriate test for the data. The end user is sometimes confusing with the analysis. We don't know which is the parametric, which is following parametric, which is following non-parametric, to check that what we have to do. So these are the things happening in case of this is coming in the end user mind. On that case, SigmaPlots guides you. If you go through this advisory wizard for analysis, it guides you in that and suggesting the appropriate test for your data. Here, for example, I have 5 sample measurements. I just want to compare these 5 sample measurements to see a significant difference in between these 5 sample measurements. But I don't know which is the test appropriate for this. So I'm just running the analysis through this advisory wizard option under analysis menu. You can see one dialog box, whether you want to describe your data, whether you want to compare the groups or treatments for significant difference, whether you want to predict a trend, whether you want to determine the sample size for experimental design, whether you want to determine the sample, sensitivity of experimental. So these are the options you can see. I just want to compare these 5 sample measurements for the significant differences. I just click next. And how the data measured, it is numerical. And did you apply more than one treatment per subject? In my case, these 5 sample measurements are from different population. So I'm just click no. And how many groups or treatments are there? In my case, 5 treatments are there. So 3 or more, I just click finish. The software suggested me one way ANOVA is suitable for this data. Now just click run. What kind of data you can analyze? You can apply ANOVA for these 4 formatted data: raw data, index format data, mean size standard deviation, mean size standard error. Yeah, I have raw data and index format data. Raw data means sample measurements or samples are in the different column. And index format means all sample measurements are in the single column and corresponding column as a grouping variable. So I'm going to perform one way and over to the raw data. I'm selecting raw data. I just click next. You can just select like this for analysis and just click finish. See, this is the unique feature in the software. In other software case, what happens is if you select any test that is directly generating the output, but in the SigmaPlot case, that is already selected one way ANOVA, but the basic assumption of the one way ANOVA is failed. So the software now suggesting, would you like to go for the one way ANOVA on rank, which is also called as non-parametric approach of the one way ANOVA, or also called as critical values one way ANOVA. So I just click yes. I just want to get a good result. So here the hypothesis is also, we can see here the hypothesis for the critical values ANOVA is under null hypothesis. There is no significant difference among the treatments, and alternate hypothesis says there is a significant difference among the treatment. So the hypothesis, null hypothesis is rejected here because p-value is less than 0.001. There is a significant difference. And below we can see the software suggested pairwise comparison. That is a techie test. Usually we are doing techie test for pairwise comparison. Just click finish. And here we got a report. This is not output, this is a report because the result generated with a short interpretation. And the normality test, you can see here passed. Here homogeneity of variance test is failed. And this is regarding the hypothesis interpretation. So this kind of short interpretation we can see for with the result. That's why it is a statistical report. And I want a result supporting plot for this. How to generate that? Just right click on the report. Here you can see result graphs. Software suggesting these 3 as a result supporting plots for the analysis. I just click OK. Here we can see the tabs with graphs. There's a significant difference we can see in the treatments. So is it possible to set the password protection for particularly for this report? Yes, that is also possible. Just right click on the report. You can see create PDF option and you can protect the document with password. And you can save the report with in these many formats also. Under home menu, report, you can save the report in SSE format, text format, text with line breaks, rich text format, Unicode text format, STL. And you can, this report like a word only. If you want to write something inside the report, you can write inside the report also. And you can copy paste the external image into the report also. And this is about analysis and report feature in the SigmaPlot 15. Then what about other analysis? Which are all the analysis we can perform? Again, under analysis menu, I'm going to explain you. The second option is Sigma test, where you, if you want to describe your data, you can perform this many tests. And if you want to compare the single sample mean, one sample t-test, one sample sign rank test for the one sample median comparison. And for 2 groups, you can perform t-test and rank sum test. And for more than 2 groups, one way ANOVA, 2 way ANOVA, 3 way ANOVA, critical values ANOVA, and ANCO we can perform. And for 2 repeated measures, PAT test, side rank test. And for more than 2 groups repeated measures, we can perform one way repeated measure ANOVA, two-way repeated measure ANOVA, repeated measure on ranks. And for categorical data, Z test, chi-square test, Fisher exact test, McNamara test, relative risk, odds ratio we can perform. And under regression, for prediction, simple in regression, multiple in regression, logistic regression, and best subset regression, stepwise forward backward selection test is also we can perform. And time detection method, principal component analysis we can perform, parametric non-parametric correlation, parametric non-parametric survival analysis, and normative test. These are the tests we can perform in SigmaPlot 15. And we can also calculate the sample size and power for these many tests. And we can quickly transform our data, mathematical transformation, we can perform user-defined transformation also we can perform for analysis and graphing. And as I told before, SigmaPlot built with three type of curve fitting wizards, regression wizard, dynamic curve fitter, global curve fitter. We already added one plot equation into the graph frame. I'm going to show you, is it possible to perform the user-defined fitting? Yes, that is also possible. You can fit the existing equation or you can create an equation. Suppose under exponential decay, you can edit the existing equation also. You can create your own equation. Suppose I am giving the XYZ name for this equation. I just click OK. Now you can edit this equation. There's in the window editor, you can change the equation. I'm just changing like this. Now you can see that created equation under user defined category. Now you can use this equation for fitting. And the report is also generating for the that equation fitting like this. And what about the other features? Here we can see under analysis menu, there is an enhancement in the 2D, 3D smoothers also. Under smoothers, I'm going to show you the 3D smoothing now. XYZ triplets I'm generating. I'm selecting some observations for that. Next, here the enhancement is for 2D, 3D smoothing. You can see the report also. I just click finish. I'm doing negative exponential. Click OK. Here we got the result of that report. Excuse me. Again, going to show you again under main button. I'm going to import that file. Yes. So under analysis menu, 2D, sorry, 3D smoothing I'm doing. It's this one. So like this, just here the enhancement means you can see the report of the smoothing also here. So over 30 macros we can perform in this latest version. And additional graphical feature is we added a heat map and cluster heat map features for the molecular biology. It is more useful for the DNA RNA pattern comparison. And for web designing also it is more useful. And we can see the enzyme kinetic features also, where we can fit data by multiple equations. You can generate multiple graphs, enzyme kinetic graphs simultaneously. So this is the data visualization and data analysis feature of the SigmaPlot software. And there is the enhanced help also under help menu. If you want to go for user guide help, you can see the user guide help. And there is an inbuilt graphical and statistical examples also there, transforms and micro data sets. Hope this video is helpful for you. Thank you so much.